In our bid to be intimate with our partner, there are things that we do subconsciously that determines the fate of our relationships. In our day-to-day and even in bed, there are things that we do that turns each other off, that makes it difficult for us to reach that sexual pleasure with so much desire. What are some of these turn-offs? My guest, Mike, Miss Tuno, and myself will take you to the bedroom. Plus, we'll read some of your interesting Facebook and WhatsApp messages. Our orgasm is at stake, you know. We'll be right back. This is Moans and Cuddles. My name is Akusa Konedos. Welcome back to Moans and Cuddles here on Ghana Web TV. Today I have a very special guest for you. Let me introduce them to you. Mystic Mike, right to my left. Welcome to Moans and Cuddles.
Many thanks, Miss Konedu.
I mean, this is your first time.
Exactly.
So we are going to have fun.
Certainly.
And next to Mystic Mike, you know her already. Miss Tuno.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
So we are looking at things that turn us off. And what would a partner do that will make you go like, ah? What turns you off in your relationships, in our relationships?
As humans, hygiene is very important, you know, and when it comes to intimacy or it comes to relationship or personal dealings, there's need to keep oneself clean, even on the roadside or even on the outside. When people have foul breath, we find it very uncomfortable. That's even in the open. When people have very smelly armpits, we have problems with it, even in vehicles, you know. So when it comes indoors and there's going to be intimacy, you'll find that when people go to hotel rooms, the ladies especially excuse themselves, oh, let me put myself together and then get back to you. You know, they go and clean things up, you know. So it's very important to maintain a very good hygiene, especially at very sensitive parts, you know. So, I mean, for one who does not keep clean or does not pay peculiar attention to the genitalia or very other sensitive parts, there's always going to be problems when it comes to having a successful interaction sexually.
So I always say that when you're dating somebody for the long term, there are a lot of things they do that you see that may turn you off or turn you on. If you don't try to either change it, correct it, rectify it, and then you seal the relationship, i.e. get married, get engaged, make the commitment more formal, what right do you have to now claim that something that they do turns you off?
Well, you said what right? They have every right. I mean, you're in a relationship with somebody, you're seeing the person's face every day, you live with the person under the same roof. I mean, that's if you're living together. So, I mean, I understand why someone might feel some type of way if something that you didn't complain about, then suddenly you're complaining about. I understand that, because I'll be like, I thought you've accepted that about me, so how come now you have a problem? Yes, I may feel that way, but I also have to understand that when you live with somebody, you also have to make sure that the environment you both live in is conducive for the two of you, mentally, physically, and everything. So when the person brings that up, you just have to understand that, yes, that's your partner, and the person has brought a concern. So you just have to listen to the person and be like, okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, it makes sense, and let me see what I can do about it. So it depends on what the person is talking about. One time I heard of a story where a lady was dating a guy with bad breath, right? She didn't tell him, and then after they got married, now it bothers her so much. She doesn't allow the guy to kiss her, and now she wants to know how to tell the person. That's exactly what you're saying. So it's like, and the more you let, you kind of say, there's this tree proverb, a China, a Jew or something, I don't know. So if the more you keep it, or you waste, the more you waste time to broach the subject, the more difficult it is. Do you understand? And topics of body smells and things are very, very sensitive, because even though we all have a degree of smells, if not, we won't be having all these perfumes and cosmetics and things because we smell. Let's just face it. Wake up in the morning, your breath, but there is an accepted degree of smells. When it becomes uncomfortable, that's when, you know, you are like, how do I tell this person how this person will take it? But you have to. And the person who has been told will also have to be like, yeah, you're right. What can we do about it? And then you meet halfway and then do what you can so that everybody, you know, feels comfortable.
But it isn't always a case of a partner not making the complaint or making it known that he or she is uncomfortable with a situation. Right. Some partners are just headstrong. Some partners don't make the deliberate effort to rectify the situation. There was a case where a couple it got to a divorce stage because the man would just not close the toilet cover, you know, after using it.
Not funny, but
yeah, you know, and the woman had complained over time that you can't continue doing this. You just flush after using the toilet, you know, and it gets to a time you say, no, I can't do it anymore because your sanity is virtually being attacked.
Right, but why do you, that's what I'm asking, that why do you complain after you've allowed the commitment to go a step further, where it is not like you are in a normal relationship, boy-girlfriend relationship, where you can actually walk out? So why wait till it gets into a marriage situation?
Well, the question then is, why do we vote in Africa? Why do we keep voting in Africa when we say our politicians have failed us? Because they keep assuring us that there's hope. This time around, things will be different. Right. This time around, things will be different. You vote for me, I'll make it right. And so some partners give the assurance to their partners that, look, I'm working on it. I'm like smoking. You know, you tell someone, I can't stand the smell of tobacco. I can't smell it. I can't stand the smell. And so I'm dropping from 5 sticks a day to 2 sticks a day. And eventually I'll get to 1 stick and then I'll stop. You know, so, and the person demonstrates something to you that, okay, I can see he stopped from 5 to 3. So then if when I marry him, I'll get to 0. But then some also wait till they get you. They hook you up. You know, they marry you and they say that, what the hell? Yeah. You know, I mean, we are married now. Yeah. It is very difficult for you to leave now. Yeah. I have you by the ball.
But that's a mistake. Why would you think that because when we are married and we sign an official paper, so then you can do whatever you want? Because then the home, like you talked about sanity, then the home will be it won't be conducive for the two of us. So why do people make that mistake thinking that when I marry somebody, then that's enough?
It's a mistaken
the work still goes on. But you should rather get married based on the information you get when you're courting and you're dating. Dating is for gathering information. And then based on that, that's when you say like, okay, from what I've gathered, I want to make it official. But people rather go the other way. They rather want to wait, sign the document, and then now we'll start. And you don't even know who you are dealing with. Communication is not on point. Because like even if you couldn't tell the person when you were dating, if you guys have a very easygoing relationship, you can be able to tell your partner anything like, hey, Charlie, today, dear, your breath.
But some people are naturally shy.
I'm kissing you today.
I am very shy. I'm a very shy person. You see me like that. I'm a very shy person.
Okay.
So if I see something, I may not be able to voice it out.
Yeah.
So there are people who have even friends who have, say, bad breath. They can't go forthright, they can't go blunt, so they buy products, you know, so they give the gifts, you know, freshness, whatever it is, they brush.
That's insensitive, I think. Like imagine, you know, you think I got body odor, then you buy me deodorant. I'm like, what's he trying to say?
They try to lead you on.
No, you can't come and buy our bad breath. You can't buy me toothpaste. No.
No, so you yourself, you sit down and ask yourself, why is he giving me a deodorant? Why is he giving me?
Exactly.
So
that is your wake up
call.
No.
Because we need to solve that
problem. I'm like, what are you trying to tell me?
So then, when you ask very vocally, like, what the hell? Why you get me this product?
Then you tell them.
Then over there you say, my brother.
No, I don't think that.
My bro.
I don't see that going well. I don't see that going well.
Let's go for a break. It's getting interesting, isn't it? We'll be right back. Don't forget, this is Moans and Cuddles here on Ghana Web TV. My name is Akosia. Don't go anywhere.
powers and principalities.
There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's going to be fun to see how he goes about approaching this game.
Welcome back to Moans Cuddles here on Ghana Web TV. Look, we are going to listen to some audios that people sent us. Look, it's crazy, very hilarious, but let's listen to them. Things that turn people off. Listen to this.
One is a guy using saliva to lubricate me. You meet a guy, for instance, maybe you've worked from the office, you've been roaming the whole day, and in the evening he gets home, he uses his saliva to put on his penis and lubricate me, or maybe I find it disgusting. I don't like it. Infections and other stuff, it's not sexy. I have lubricant in my room. If I find myself dry and I think you are going there, I will stop you and say I have lubricant. Also, I hate guys who tell you what to say during sex. Say I love you, say you will leave me. Say, are you the one to tell me what I feel or how I should feel during sex? Like you're forcing me to literally talk about things I don't really enjoy, or maybe if I'm enjoying it, I'll moan. If I have other signs I do. But don't tell me, baby, say you like it. Baby, do you enjoy it? And you say, answer me, then someone will hit you, say yes, say yes, say yes. I don't want to tell me what to say.
During sex, I like to hold the boobs, the nipples, and everything. An experience. I had this lady, the first time we're going to have sex. I've always seen her in her brazier and everything. So this particular time we were actually in the act. So I wanted to take off the bra and then fondle the boobs small, the nipples, and so after taking off the bra from behind, I released the hook from behind. Then the boobs just jump out like a rolled socks. And that was it. I was just turned off. If there's no breast, then Charlie, I'll know it's not me. I'm not doing it. And also smelly pussy. Sometimes maybe yes. Sometimes you want to also lick small the clit. You want to lick it, and then you go down there, and then you smell bad thing coming from there. That's a turn off completely.
For me personally, a total turn off for me in bed or during intimacy with my partner is touching off my nipples. It turns me off totally during sex. I'll just push you away. The second thing will be bad breath during sex. At least you should have a good breath. Your breath should smell good. Even if you won't brush, maybe you can use some mouthwash, because that thing, just imagine your partner eating kinky and onions, then they're on top of you. Really, that's a total turn off. Like, then I'll decide to give you a doggy style.
Welcome back to Moans Cuddles. We've moved, to a new location because it's raining, and we can't sit in the rain and do the show. So, pardon us. So before we comment on the voice notes, I want to read more of what people are saying on social media for you guys to just have a feel of the thing that turn people off. So Patricia says, "Don't bite my tits." Jabril says, "When our teeth clash," and this is obviously from a married woman who says, "Crying kids. Those little bosses can let your something disappear at once, especially when they start crying." Matthew says, "I am tired. I'm sorry, I can't do this. Stop it. It's paining me. You like sex too much. Why that place? Are you gay? I need some money. And George says, a partner who wouldn't take part in the foreplay, behaving as if he or she is a timber log, laying there body like that. Paul says, forceful kisses and loud moans. And then there is hairy pussy as usual. Nunu sent. When side chick asks for stepdaughter's school fees. Spirited Hayford says, disrespectful person will always be my turn off. Laurentia says, twisting nipples as if you are tying a rubber bag.
Hey.
Bad breath keeps going. Miss Tuno, what turns you on? What turns you off?
What turns me off? I mean, number one, bad breath, bad smells. I can't take that. You know, and then with when you kiss with too much saliva in your mouth.
But those things are a bit, is it generic or genetic?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's something. So that's why it's up to you to work on it.
Some partners decide that will be the bigger person. So if you don't flush, I'll come and flush after you. Right. If you snore, say a snoring partner is part of you, it's your biology. So I'll just get earphones and sleep with them. Right. If you have a partner who can't sleep without the light being on, they decide that I'll get a blindfold and sleep with it. Right. There are partners who become the bigger
compromise,
person,
yeah.
You know, so that because the marriage means a lot to them.
I agree. But if you are bringing more to the table. If you're not bringing much to the table, you're bored of your partner already. Like you don't listen to nothing. You think you're always right. Then you have all this.
People have really peculiar turn of women.
From the audio and then the messages you've read, there are certain cases where the arguments are pretty sound. Others I find to be flimsy. If you take the saliva issue, for instance, I, for one, cannot bear to have a BJ given me without saliva. Okay. It's dry. Okay. It's not my thing. I like some saliva around, when you're working with it. And some also say they see saliva and they are put off. So some are, there's division across the lines. Right. Some, what push you off, actually gingers somebody else.
They said, Obiakono.
Exactly. It gingers somebody else. I have my sex bag. Both parties should actually have sex bag.
Yeah, what's that?
I have my lotions. I have my condoms. Sex bag. Yeah, a sex bag. I have my lotions, I have my condoms, I have my lubricants, other goodies in the bag.
Something that came up also is hairy penis and hairy vagina and odor. It looks like
the issue with hairiness is that personally, I love savanna. I don't like rainforest. And I don't like the Sahara.
Which one is
I like it. I like the savannah. Not too grown, not overgrown, and not bare.
Right.
I love the savannah. The savannah, because the trouble with the rainforest is that it breeds boils. It breeds boils. It breeds sweat. It gets itchy down there. And if you're a woman who loves to be given oral, you are giving a terrible time to your partner.
But there are people who like it when it is all
hairy, and they have to take a toothpick
to pick their teeth.
When you meet the guys that I've met who like to give oral sex, they want you to be clean. So for me, I go with what the person wants. For me, I really don't care whether I shave or not. It can be there till Charlie years later. Yes. And I realize that, oh my God, like Charlie, forest and all that. Yeah. But I've met people who will be like, you know what, because of the hair and stuff, and I want to go down. I mean, so I like that. So I have to make sure that I do what the person wants.
You are saying
because if he gives me 100% of the oral sex, then I also want to return the favor.
Just keep it clean. If you're going to be hairy, then you got to use a lot of warm water in bathing.
So that
it keeps the boil down. It keeps those very pesky stuff out there. Just keep it clean, and every man, will dive in.
Yeah, but then the guys too, we have a problem with the guys.
All right.
Because they don't clean hair.
Exactly.
Keep
the testicles.
Also
I know.
Because the experience that I've had, a lot of them, the guys are always complaining about women not smelling good and all of that, but the guys too don't. But then the things that because the men are always vocal about the women's vagina not smelling good, so they don't know that women have a problem with them because we don't talk about it. But I will.
it takes two to tango. Ladies, no matter what it is, you know you put yourself up for this activity. Right. Imagine a footballer who says he wants to play ball, he's been fielded, and the ball is passed to him, and then he stands. Right. I mean, it makes no goddamn sense. It makes no sense.
That's not the same thing.
So just
not the same thing, Charlie.
But the work is not for the man. It's not only for the man. Some will say that you wanted the honey pot. Here is the honey pot.
Listen, let me just say something. Let me burst your bubble a bit. Fine, yes, it's a give and take kind of thing. But like, listen, the energy and everything is also very important. The conversations and all is important. So when we get into the room, you the guy, you just, expect that things should just happen. Foreplay is very important. So you have to work on the woman as well.
And the woman too.
And so what you give her is what she's going to bounce off, like give back to you.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And because of the way we see sex in this country, a lot of African women are not even confident enough to even show what they want. Tell you, touch me here. They feel like when they say that, you be like, hey, but you, who have you been doing this with? So it's all about communication and confidence as well. Yeah. Because I've had guys who I couldn't do nothing with them and they felt I was crap. But I've been with other people who I was so confident with, so comfortable with. Oh man. So that's what I'm saying. So you are not motivating her enough. The inspiration is not there. So it's not like people don't want. People know what they want. Even someone even said that women, when they get older, their libido goes down. That's a big lie.
That's a big lie.
That's a big lie. You know why? Because they get bored and get fed up with the guys. It's like, do whatever you want. But you don't know that, Charlie. Her hormones are like way up there.
Yeah.
Well,
that's a myth that guys think that women, Charlie.
The thing is, there are bad days and good days. So even as a lady, no matter what, no matter the faults you put at the doorstep of the man, make sure you have some solid days and some poor days.
You can't
because you cannot always fault the man.
Nobody's faulting anybody. The way you are putting it on, saying because, that women like that as a law.
You can kiss a lady, you can tease out a kiss, but you need the lady to also take it out.
Right.
And
hold your horses. We'll go for a break and then we'll come back. Look, it is getting hotter and hotter here on Moans and Cuddles on Ghana Web TV. My name is Akosia. My guests, very interesting people, Miss Tuno and Mystic Mike. We'll be right back after this break.
We table issues relating to the arts and entertainment for a riveting discussion, of course, without fear nor favor.
The question the presenter asked them was a dumb question. You need to speak the fact and move.
Varied views. We agree to disagree.
So I would disagree with everything you said. I think that he's a smart guy. I think what he did.
No, but I also said he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I guess that I'm waiting for the what next.
Yeah, I don't think that we have to wait for what next.
It sometimes gets confrontational. But that's the beauty of the game.
Today you are denying funny face.
It's not my brother.
Today you are denying funny face.
I don't know him.
You don't know funny face.
It's not my brother.
You don't know funny face.
It's a package. We meet, we sit, we dialogue, we learn, we progress. My name is Benefo Huabin Abrantepa, a proud blogger, and this is my forum.
Welcome back. This is Moans and Cuddles here on Ghana Web TV. My name is Akosia. And I'm doing this with Mystic Mike and Miss Tuno. Mystic Mike, you tell me, aside your sex bag, what are some of your personal sexual turn-offs?
Yeah. I've read on certain platforms where men love ladies who have come from the gym. They don't shower with the sweat, everything, they eat them out and all that. But that's not my cup of tea. That's not my cup of tea.
They eat the sweat?
They sweat everything. They just say, please don't bath. Don't bath. They bring everything. But I can't. I don't have the stomach for it. I love my coochie to be well washed, well cleaned, and served. A moist or sweaty coochie is not one for me. Again, for the ladies who have a bit of flesh, you know, when you open up their thighs, you know, the black, you know, the blackened parts, if they could work on it, so that you open things up and you're like, God damn it.
Wow.
Exactly. And for me, I'm not a fan of very huge boobs, because I have come to realize, I've handled a few, and I came to realize that at the end of the day is the nipples that is really needed for the work. It isn't all that mass. that whole mass. It is. I handled the few and I'm like, God damn, it's too much. At the end of the day, it's the nipples that you get to work with. And so, I mean, these are a few things that, you know, I personally, they are not really things I'll go in for.
You know, one of the voice notes, the lady said, when the act has started and you touch her nipples, she will just throw you off. Yeah, because she can't stand it.
She can't stand. That's quite that's curious, because ladies love for you to work on their nipples.
Yeah.
But it isn't for you to go biting or chewing. You know,
or be twisted like you are
just
twisted.
use the tongue to stimulate the nipple, and then it will erect like an antenna for you to proceed.
So I'm thinking, do you think people's bad experiences can sometimes turn into a turn off? Because I'm thinking, for this lady whose nipples, when you're having sex, you touch her nipples and she becomes, it turns her off. Could it be that somebody touched it and maybe didn't touch it well, or maybe somebody, you know, twisted it like they are twisting?
It doesn't seem like manhandling of the nipples is the problem. I think her problem is the nipples are overly sensitive, just like certain clitoris are. Certain clitoris, you can't even, you know, they can't bear. The ladies can't bear for you to even touch them, because they are so sensitive that it drives them overboard. You know, while some cherish you touching, you sucking on them, you stimulating them, others cannot bear for you to even use your tongue on them, because it's too powerful. It shakes their system too much.
But as some guys do, they manhandle it. Some bite you like that, you know. You see, like I said, sex is a skill. So when you are dealing with somebody, you don't have to get carried away to the point that you cause them pain. Because at the end of the day, everybody's body parts are sensitive. Even with the men, their balls and everything. There are lots of guys who don't want women to give them blowjobs because you don't know how to do it. You know, you're supposed to give a blowjob without using your teeth. But lots of women do that. So there are guys who will tell you, no. And if you ask them why, the first time the lady did it, she used her teeth and stuff. So when they trust you enough and you're able to do it well, so like the question you asked saying that maybe it's from bad experiences. So sometimes you may be like, someone did it to me this way, so I won't let you try it. But if you are able to earn the person's trust and the person's like, no, don't worry, I'll do it the way you want it. You tell me how you want it and I'll do it the way you want it. And then they can change that perception. So every one time I kissed the guy and I used tongue, he was like, nobody uses tongue. And I said, but I learned it from somebody else. So how can you say nobody does? Someone taught me and I liked it. So I'm trying it on you. So if you don't know, just say you don't know or you don't like it.
You've not experienced it before.
Yes, right. You see, because, and then one thing about sex is about balancing. Sometimes you meet somebody, you want to try something you already know. The person doesn't know what it is. So you both have to communicate.
To them gently.
Yes, gently.
Gradually.
Communicate and then make sure that everybody is satisfied at the end of the day. So when people say women lie down as logs or whatever, it's because you're not inspiring them enough. Now people, the way they even talk to you is like, if I catch you, I've said that before. Yeah, if I catch you, like every day you hear them tell, if I catch you, I catch you. It catch you to no skill, nothing, bam, 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 like that. Why? Why? And the person is not even wet enough and you bruise her. We are all talking about experiences here. Some guys too, when they finger you with their long nails, they dig like they are some galamsey, whatever. Like it's a skill.
Some galamsey.
You know, take your time. Like, and then you do it, the person will be bleeding and all of that. No, and you have to listen to the woman. Be discerning. When you're doing stuff and she's pushing you away and you have to be like, why is she doing that? I'll ask. But you don't ask. You think you did it to Akos and Akos didn't say anything. Maybe Akos couldn't talk.
But
and then because she's not talking, so then...
Tuno made a valid point that you must listen to your partner to know what is working for them. Right. But the partner must know what works for him or her. And how do you do that? You do that through self-exploration. Through self-exploration.
I'm talking about responding.
I know, but that's one way of it. You as a woman must explore your body. You must know yourself. You must know what works for you. You must have explored your genitalia. So when you meet a visitor, you can guide them through it. You know what, baby boy, hit me right here.
But listen, you can know your body and everything, but it's not every guy that you respond to the same way. There are guys, I've had guys who suck my nipples, I don't feel nothing. Someone else who suck my nipples, I feel something. It's the connection as well, mental. Women are all about the mental connection.
No,
do you understand?
No two ways about
so I might know my body and everything, but that doesn't mean you can get me there.
But the idea is not for everyone to please you 100%. Right. We don't have to have the same scorecard.
That's why it's about communication.
We don't have to have the scorecard because the depth and the length that Akwesi has, Paco might lack it, and so he cannot reach the inner circles.
That's where skill comes in.
He might not reach the inner circles because naturally he's handicapped. He does not have the extra mile to go.
Every sexual relationship you have with somebody is always different. If you've had sex with like 3 or 4 guys, it's not the same when they put the penis in your vagina. It's always different. So it's not about, I know my body, blah, 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 blah. As long as when the person enters, you know how you connect to the person. Some guys have skill. They know how to tap. They know where to go. So it's not even about how big your dick is or whatever. Because sometimes people have it so big that if the woman is small, it's uncomfortable. You can even feel it hitting your womb.
Look,
do you understand?
Miss Konedu, I agree with this perfectly. And that's why I say that whilst you look up for compatibility in your partners, you want financial compatibility at that level where I'm bringing this to the table. You also bring this, as she mentioned earlier, that you must have brought something good to the table for me to live with your snoring. Yeah. Whilst you look out for that, whilst you look out for whatever other compatibility, genital compatibility is something we must also look at. It's not only sexual, even genital. That's what I mean. Because even 2 genitals, some meeting will electrify you, some will not. Penis, they will say penis is penis. But 2 penises can give you different feelings. Some can leave you legless. You can't even move again. And some will do nothing to you at all.
It doesn't even matter whether it is big or small.
It doesn't even matter. And it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even has to do with personality. The human being carrying it. Even the human being carrying it sometimes does not matter. It's just the uniqueness of the genital and how it fits. It's like both and not. It fits and I ain't meet nobody who has fitted me this way like Konedu has.
How do we deal with sexual turnoffs?
Yeah. It depends on the relationship you have with your sexual partner. Do you have that long-term goal with the person? That long-term, association with the person? If it's friends with benefit and you are close, you meet frequently, you can put it out and say, look, my dear, work on this. Take a second look at this. But if it's a hookup, you meet it, you not call that hookup again. Sure. If it's a lady you met and you had a very terrible experience, as Miss Tuno has asserted, it won't happen again. You won't get another bite at the cherry.
That's true.
You get one bite, you don't prove yourself, that's it.
How do you voice it without coming across as offensive?
Yeah. Our parents did a good job while they were raising us. Sometimes it wasn't about the shouting. It wasn't about, hey, Mebo, hey, Akwesi. Sometimes it was the eye contact. Sometimes the eye contact in public when you are misbehaving and they give you the look. You yourself, that, hey, I have to sit up. So you don't have to be always vocal, but make the point, let the point be known. You went to school, you can write. Take a sheet of paper, write it. If you can't stand in front of the person to say it, write it. Hang it on the fridge. Hang it on the cupboard. If you can, whatever it is, do something. As I said, gifts. Prompt the person. Or a badrimba, they are conscious beings. Lead them. If they are not seeing the light, put things to the person say, hey,
if you don't go and bath, you're not getting a blowjob.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can say that in a very playful way.
Exactly. So say, okay, 1 year there, you know, you make it play here. And the person will say,
Listen, what do you think?
There's a lot of difficult conversations people have to have. They are difficult, but you have to have them. Because maybe he lived in a setting where that was so normal. You understand? And he didn't even think of the hygienic side of it. Like guys who wear one boxer for 2 weeks, 3 weeks before washing. You take a crap, you wear the same boxers. You go and have a bath, you wear the same boxers. So you are transferring germs and stuff like so. It's already smelling. And then you come near a woman, she wants to give you a blowjob, and you give up this off smell. You have to tell the person, I can't just buy the boxers for you. He will still wear it for 3 weeks before. Do you understand? Because the person has lived that way for a very long time and he doesn't see anything wrong with it. So if you care about somebody, you should be able to call the person and sit down, go somewhere to a very neutral environment, and you talk about serious conversations. Like, you know what? I really like you, and this is what I've realized. Okay, I care about you, and I feel like this is what I've noticed, and maybe it's not hygienic. These are the reasons why I think you should do it this way, and then help the person if you think don't go and talk down at the person like, hey, Charlie, you forgo, clean up, or are you from the village or something? No, you say it, the person will listen to you. Do you understand? Because maybe a lot of people have not told him. Do you understand? A lot of ladies don't even know about sexual, intimate hygiene. I wasn't taught about intimate hygiene, like when I have my period and stuff like that. I had to learn and make mistakes. I had to. So if I didn't know, I would have continued, being the way I am. And then, so you have to be able to, it's about communication. Relationships is about communication. People are not perfect. People have flaws. So you tell the person that this is what I think and this is how we can handle it.
Well, this is how we will bring the curtain to a close. It's been good, hasn't it?
It has.
I've really learned a lot, and I've as they say, I've kept a lot of my I mean, you were here with us on Moans and Cuddles. I did this with Mystic Mike, Miss Tuno. You've heard everything. Keep the place neat. If there is something that turns you off, talk about it. Because if you don't talk about it and you take the relationship to the next level, then it becomes difficult to talk about it. My name is Akosia. This is Moans and Cuddles. We'll come your way another time. Bye-bye.